Last time,
Miam gets abandoned after it's overrun with demons. The group encounters a couple of powerful undead creatures, and Christopherson reveals himself as the cause of the demons. Friends of the Musketeers fall in battle, and a suspicious invitation from Christopherson is too much to pass up to save Mimi, Galaxy, and Dave's fallen friends. And Mimi gets her 2 elephants.
Why does it take so long for pirates to learn the alphabet? It's because they can spend years at sea.
Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters.
Welcome everyone to another elephant-filled episode of Dungeons and Dragons and Daughters. We are a 5th edition D&D actual play podcast. I am Kurt, Daddy the Dungeon Master, and to my left we have
Sam. I play Mimi, our favorite druid elf and the leader of the Musketeers.
Again,
3 Musketeers. And to my left we have
Birdie, and again, you're not the leader. No one is. We're all equal. I play Galaxy, the elf wizard, who's also a musketeer and also lost her chips and salsa
friend.
Yes. And to my left we have...
My name's Aaron. I play Dave, our favorite halfling cleric.
Somewhat.
Aaron. Thanks for coming back. It's been a while since we've had you on.
Yeah.
You are one of our veteran Daves.
Yikes.
Yes.
Girls, need to remind you about something. Natalie wanted a shout out.
Yes. Who did?
Your friend Natalie? She's been watching us on YouTube, our YouTube videos.
For real?
Yeah.
Like on every one?
I don't know, but the latest one she watched, and she's like, I watch all your videos, and you need to give me a shout out. So give her a shout out.
Okay. Hi, Natalie! Shout out to you!
Hope you've been liking the videos.
All right, let's get into it. Let's play Dungeons and Dragons. All right. So, as a recap for Aaron, in case you're not current, what happened last time is that the 3 Musketeers encountered a number of very powerful, dark, undead creatures that ended up killing their friend and fellow musketeer Betha and Blondie. Betha was the human ranger that created chips and salsa. And Blondie was the gnome that helped create a lot of the mechanical and magical technological things that the musketeers use.
Like the musculator.
And the muskets, and he was also the one that got the jet to work again that the musketeers had gotten from the Atlanteans. So that was rather devastating for the girls,
Especially for me and
they
them.
also and they also had an encounter with Christopherson, the big bad of the campaign. He made an appearance, and he made it very clear that everything that's been happening within the city recently, because the city has been overrun by demons, the city of Miam, and the city got abandoned because all the soldiers and knights couldn't keep all the demons at bay. And so the city was vacated by all the refugees and the citizens of Miam, and Christopherson made it very clear that he was the reason behind it, and he went after Blondie and Betha because all the things he's been trying to do up until this point to affect the 3 of you have not worked. So he's decided to start going after the people that you care about.
It will
instead.
not work, I tell ya.
And so then he also said that he's looking forward to seeing you again and wants you to come find him in Atlantis. And that's when he had disappeared.
I do not.
Why does he
want
want us?
You don't know. You don't know.
Are we part of a prophecy?
He's looked into the future and we've done beautiful things.
Maybe he's trying to stop at Galaxy and Greg's wedding.
Yes! Please!
You and Greg are destined to be together?
Yes.
No thanks.
I've already planned out the ceremony. happening in.
You started wedding planning?
Will Mr. Bok be the person who says like that?
Yeah, Mr. Bok is going to marry you. Yeah, he's going to preside over the wedding.
Wow. Beautiful.
We've gathered here today to wed Galaxy to Greg. This is going to be a really uncomfortable adventure when I have to voice both Mr. Bok and Greg, because Greg would be there, and then I have to switch back to the Mr. Bok voice. Man, I would need some like cough drops at the end of that adventure.
Well, yeah.
So where we pick up
Pick up.
where we pick up from last time is that it is actually just a couple of hours after the sun is starting to rise up on the now abandoned and kind of ruined city of Miam. The good news is that the demons seemed to not want to leave the city limits itself. They chased everybody out, but then once everyone got outside of the city, they did not pursue any further than that. So the knights and the soldiers of Miam have set up barricades and a boundary around the city, both to the north and the south. Now you and most of the other musketeers had left with the citizens of Miam to the south. To the south of the city is where the harbor is, and this is where all the ships are that come in and out of the city.
They're going on a boat. So I'm riding my mama elephant Nina, and Mr. Bok's riding baby Philip.
Baby Philip, okay.
But will all of our pets be magically on the boat?
We'll get to that.
Because I want Tiny Ginger.
We'll get to that.
Tiny Ginger.
Where's Tiny Ginger right now anyway? I think Tiny Ginger is still back at Mount Olympus.
I know, but he can teleport.
So you have been in Miam for a long time, in 3 weeks. During that 3 week period of time, would you have gotten your ponies from Mount Olympus and brought them to Miam? Okay.
So we have our little ponies, and my 2 elephants, and Mr. Bok, and my soon-to-be pet bear. I'm very devoted on pets.
Don't know where this pet bear is coming from.
I'm like, it's gonna magically just appear. You know?
You can summon animals with your magic. Not permanently though. The refugees out of Miam, they're trying to get organized and trying to figure out what it is they are going to do next. And talking with the other soldiers and the musketeers and the people around, and it does sound like that there are some key peoples or figureheads of the city and of the musketeers that are getting together to start the planning of what's going to be happening next. So, is there anything...
everyone going to be living in Mount Olympus then?
You don't know.
Or
Atlantis. We are not going to Atlantis yet. Okay.
All right. So this meeting...
do we have their Blondie and Beth's bodies or no?
You do, yes. Yes.
did I put them in my backpack?
I think we did because they're dead.
Yep. So one of the things that had happened, and I'll say in the last couple of hours, is that there were some clerics that had cast some spells on their bodies to preserve them, so that once you do figure out a way to return the souls to the bodies will be ready to go when those souls jump back in there. So with this sort of quote-unquote council meeting that's happening right now, you've heard that it's going to be happening in the next couple of hours. Is there anything in particular that you'd want to do during that period of time?
Ooh, I think you know what I'm going to say.
What are you going to... You're going to look for a pet bear?
Yeah.
All right, roll investigation.
Can I have advantage?
No. Because if there were any animals that got out of the pet shop and outside of Miam, more than likely they just ran away. They wouldn't have stayed with all the people.
Where's advantage?
You don't have advantage.
Oh, what am I rolling?
You're rolling an investigation.
Okay, I was thinking I was going to roll an advantage.
You just got so focused, I have advantage. Not even worried about the skill check that you're actually going to do.
Okay, hey, 17.
17. You do not find a pet bear.
I'm doing it again.
All right, that was okay. So you start investigating for another hour.
18.
18. You still don't find a pet bear. So hour number 3.
A natural 20.
No, you did not. Natural 20?
Unnatural.
Oh, unnatural 20. You still don't find a pet bear. So that's 3 hours of Mimi
He's not gonna let
searching.
you.
Well, no, she
Pursue.
could have found it. It's just the DC on the difficulty class was really, really high.
Like 30.
No, I made it 25.
I couldn't even make it. I have 2 plus 2 in investigation.
Right. Yeah. So this is a good lesson. If you would have got a natural 20, getting a natural 20 is not an automatic success on skill checks.
Okay, I will do it. I will investigate. But
So-
if I find one, I'm keeping it.
Really?
Okay, so this answers my next question. Is like, what was Galaxy and Dave doing in this 3-hour time period? So Galaxy has gone off in search of her own pet bear out of spite towards Mimi. Is that
Or
is that
do you
what's
want a
happening?
pet fox? I don't know.
I just want to make her jealous.
Okay, so roll your first investigation for the first hour.
No.
That would be 16.
She got an 8.
Okay,
eight.
you
Plus 8.
you don't find a pet bear.
I get plus 8.
Second second hour of searching.
23.
23. You still don't find it. You feel like you're getting close though.
She's cheating.
22 she.
22.
22. You don't find a pet bear either.
I do one more hour.
No, you search for 4 hours.
She got a natural 1 then. So.
Dave.
Okay, so there's gonna be some consequences then because you searched for another hour. So
No, I didn't.
you just rolled for
I
it.
just lied.
Oh. Well, in that case, Dave, what were you? Was
was
there anything
just-
you wanted to do for those 3
Can you
hours?
search for
I
a
was
bear
just
for
helping
me?
them.
You're helping them.
I was.
That means we got
I was helping
advantage.
them to no avail.
Which one were you helping? You're gonna help Galaxy.
Why
Okay.
her?
All right, Galaxy. Then, so that fourth roll does actually count because that was gonna be
But she
when
got a 1.
right.
But do I get to roll it again?
So now you get 2 more rolls because you would have been able to do all those rolls with advantage.
Oh, come on.
that was not a roll. That was a draw.
No,
That was a roll.
So that'd be
What was it?
It was a 5.
Okay, so you still don't find a pet bear. Last roll.
get it. 14.
14. Yep. So even with Dave's help,
You should have helped me. I'm the one who actually wants the pet bear. She just wants to be evil.
Well,
is this the pot calling the kettle black?
Yes.
Do you even know what that means?
No.
All right. So 3 hours goes by, and
No pet bear.
no pet bear. You get back to the impromptu camp that the Musketeers have set up outside of the city of Miam. And there's tents that have been set up. There's some cooking fires that have been going, and everyone looks kind of down and dirty and tired because all night they've been up all night, and working their butts off and getting people out of the city and getting things set up and fortifying their position in case there's any more attacks. And that, as you're moving around through this camp, you see a group of people walking towards you, and Doc is at the head of these people, and she's making a beeline towards the 3 of you right now.
She gonna fire us?
All right, so Doc makes her way towards you, and she has Ian with her.
She's gonna fire us.
She totally fired.
Wait, is Ian bad?
No.
Good. I thought he was.
He's a werewolf.
No, Ian was like the first captain. It's been a while since you've had a lot of interactions with Ian. Ian was like the first captain of the Musketeers that you had ever met. And he was leading that group of Musketeers filled with dwarves and humans and elves and gnomes that were in that ruin where you went back, and there was Rusty the dwarf that didn't like you, and he came up dead, and then he came back, and then you fought the spiders in there. Is any of this ringing a bell?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay. So Doc comes towards you, and she says, Dave, Galaxy, Mimi, I've been looking for you.
Why?
We've had a decision from the council meeting.
You're firing us.
I am not firing you. Why? What did you do?
She's trying to steal pet bear.
A pet bear.
I'm just trying to look for a pet bear to make her jealous.
I'm sure there's more productive things that you could be doing right now, but I do have a mission for you.
Yes. If you say we're going to Atlantis,
That is actually what I would like you to do.
What?
So we do need all of the ships of Miam, and we need the jet, and we need the griffins to airlift people out of here and away from this demon-infested city. All resources are going towards that.
Christopherson said the next step of his plan is to meet him in Atlantis.
I'm well aware of that. However, the lights that you saw over Atlantis, I know what those mean.
What?
It means that the people of Atlantis have left. Something has happened there that was so terrible that it caused them to abandon the city. So I think what happened here in Miam has happened in Atlantis as well. And we need to find out for sure. And I'd like to see what we can do to get Blondie and Betha back. However, all resources, the council has decided that all resources, which is the right decision, should be used towards helping the people of Miam, getting them out, getting them to safety. But I would like you to go off on your own and see if you can find a ship on your own that can be sort of diverted away from this particular effort. So this is something that you're going to have to do quietly, under the table. See if you can find someone with a ship that can take you to Atlantis.
Is it what I think it is?
Is it what?
The guy with the pot hat?
No, it's not going to be Guy.
Guy.
It's not going to be Greg either.
But that's,
Although now I kind of want to make it Greg.
can you make it Greg?
No.
Because that's where I'm going to plan the wedding.
A wedding at sea.
Yes. So, all right.
It'd be romantic.
So those are the instructions that you receive from Doc. Is like she's asked you to very discreetly find someone with a small boat to take you to Atlantis. And so this would be a good time to like ask Doc any questions.
Hey, Doc?
Yes.
So, do you have any extra magic? Well, first of all, we need to pay you back the money that you loaned us.
Yeah, I will say that had happened during the 3-week period that you had spent in Miam.
Okay,
So, but good thinking on that.
and 2...
That's kind of lawful thinking. That's very lawful thinking in alignment. That's kind of out of character for you that you would be willingly paying that money back.
Well, I would want my money back if I loaned someone.
Okay. Oh, yeah, very true. All right.
And do you have any extra magical items that we could borrow?
We don't. Resources are a little tight right now, but I am going to be sending Ian with you because, as you know, both him and I are from Atlantis, and so he's going to be your guide. So you're not just going to be going in there blind.
Okay.
And Ian steps forward and he's like,
And
he says, Mimi, Galaxy Dave, be an honor to go adventuring with you again.
I have one more thing.
Yes.
Did Doc?
Oh. He steps back. Yes, Mimi.
For some reason, Christopherson wants us in Atlantis. Are we part of some prophecy or something?
That I'm not sure about. I know that the three of you have earned the nickname the Three Musketeers, and we do have some ancient stories and texts about Three Musketeers from a very, very, very long time ago. But it's not clear if it's a prophecy. It's just there was stories written about the Three Musketeers a very long time ago.
Do you have those stories in paper?
We do not. It's not something. It's not something that we had It's not a tale that I'm particularly familiar with. I just remember hearing about it growing up. You may be able to find more information about it in Atlantis.
Okay, which direction is Atlantis? North, south, west?
It's south. And you have to travel by ship to Atlantis. There are security systems in place that anything flying going towards it will get shot out of the sky.
Ooh,
It's fun.
that's terrific. I can just be a fish and we can just use that as a boat.
How big of a fish can you turn into? Do you have any idea?
Can I turn into a whale?
I think you could turn into like a sperm whale or like but not like a. Well, actually, can you
What about a stingray?
Could you turn into a killer whale? It is a beast. It has a challenge rating of 3. Can you turn into a challenge rating 3 creature? All right, so you are a druid and you are a circle of the moon, I believe.
Is it conjure animals?
No, this is your wild shape. This is where you turn yourself into something.
Because I haven't seen wild shape.
All right, so starting at 6th level, you can transform into a beast with a challenge rating as high as your druid level divided by 3, rounded down. So what level are you at right now? 10? So you would be able to turn into a killer whale if you wanted to.
What about a stingray? They have like this big flat area on them.
Oh, so you're thinking like everyone could ride on that?
Like Nemo.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a stingray?
Yes.
You have?
At Como.
No, but has Mimi ever seen a stingray?
Yes! At the zoo!
All right.
Along with those dinosaurs.
I suppose if you've seen a killer whale, then you've probably seen a stingray. Just roll a survival check for me. Just come on.
You saw it at the zoo.
You've seen, this is one heck of a zoo that you went to as a kid. It had everything there.
They shut down the year they opened. That's how dangerous it was.
Okay, 19.
19. Okay, so you have seen a stingray.
Just 19.
Yes, you saw a stingray at the zoo.
I saw it at the zoo.
But the stingray, unfortunately, is not going to be big enough to carry all of you because you're going to have you're going to have Galaxy, you're going to have Dave, you're going to have Boom, you're going to have Ian.
And my elephant.
You're going to try and bring the elephants too.
And Tiny Ginger.
So two elephants
Tiny Ginger.
and
3 ponies.
3 ponies
And 1 chicken.
and 1 chicken.
and her dog. And what's your...
Both my dogs.
But
So 12.
what's your other dog's name?
Abby.
Abby. Okay.
So 12.
Oh boy, gonna need a bigger boat.
I want to.
Yeah.
I want to change her to a border terrier really bad.
Okay, well then change her.
Oh, yay. Okay, let's go find someone who can carry 12 living things.
All right, why don't you roll an investigation check?
Advantage.
Well, I'm assuming that Dave or Galaxy is going to be helping you with this, or do you want to have one of them make the roll since they're better at investigating than you?
Fine.
What's your investigation?
Mine's a -1. So
Okay, so sorry, Dave's not better at investigation.
I have a +8.
Galaxy has a +8 at investigation. +2. All right. So it sounds like Galaxy should make this investigation. So the wizard leads you down to the docks and going by the ships that are being furiously loaded with people and supplies, and you can see that the harbor is filled with boats at anchor, waiting for orders or waiting just for a spot to open up at the docks so that they can come in and load people up. And you can see already that there are dozens of ships that are sailing away from the city, taking the refugees away from the city and the demons. So it's a bustle of activity as people are running back and forth. Everyone looks tired and ragged. Galaxy, go ahead and roll an investigation check with advantage to see if you can find someone willing to take you away from the refugee effort that's happening right now.
Okay.
22.
You do have an advantage on it.
Oh, I do?
Yep,
I
because Mimi and Dave are helping you.
12.
Okay. So what was the first one? 22?
I get to
Yeah.
do it again.
No, you already did it once. That was the second time.
Oh.
So you're moving along, and you talk to a couple of folks. There's one grizzly old sailor that you go by. He doesn't want to have anything to do with you. He's like, I'm busy. I got orders. I'm taking these people out of here. Go. You should be helping out too. What are you doing?
Orders from a leader.
Remember, you're supposed to be doing this like incognito.
Oh, we just got a request. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, he moves on. He continues loading supplies onto his ship and after a little while, you do find a small ship that doesn't seem to be loaded up with a lot of stuff right now. And there's one. You see a man that's kind of like moving about on the deck, kind of slowly compared to the hustle and bustle of everyone else around. Doesn't seem like he's got a whole lot to do right now.
This is Christopherson.
And the name of the ship you can see is it looks like it was painted kind of haphazardly on the back of the ship. And the name of the ship catches your eye. The name of the ship is Fancy Footwork.
Oh, God! Is it that guy?
Yeah. Well, as you get closer, you see an elf.
Hey, Mr. Fancy Footwork.
Hello. Hello, elf maiden. How are you?
Is this like many years later?
Well, okay, so for context, so there's this, we did this adventure where I created this swashbuckling elf rogue character.
Okay.
And well, he had
I
this,
was the DM.
yeah, Sam had DM this adventure, and he's got this special ability called Fancy Footwork that allows him to like dive in and out of combat fairly easily. And they just loved it so much that they nicknamed him Fancy Footwork.
I like it.
It's footwork.
And so he comes off of his ship. He walks up the plank onto the
With
dock.
all our animals.
And it's like, oh, two beautiful elf maidens. We have a halfling, and he starts going down the line. And well, you have quite the entourage that comes along with you.
Do you think you could take us to Atlantis?
Wait, I just have a question that's kind of out of context. Whatever.
Context.
Contest.
Context.
Context. And is this like many years later of what the adventure we did?
The adventure that we did that was a different universe compared to this one. So it was about the same time, but there's a whole different world.
Then how did he get older?
Well, no, he's the same age as he was before.
Then does he know some
Okay,
of
well,
that?
so this elf standing before you, he's got his long dark hair tied back in a ponytail, and he's got a white billowing shirt on that's like unbuttoned like halfway down, showing off his smooth tan chest.
Oh, come on.
And you notice that he's got painted on a thin mustache over his upper lip. You know that elves can't grow beards or facial hair, but he's taken the time to pencil in a thin mustache on his lip. And he's got a gold earring in the lobe of his large elven pointed ear.
Do you think you could take us to Atlantis and our circus?
So, well, after you ask the question, you look at his face, and you look at the ship, and the size of his ship, it is a single mass ship. And there's no way all of these animals are going to fit on his ship.
I can ride my elephant.
In the water. You're not going to be able to get an elephant on this ship. You're not going to be able to get ponies onto this ship.
Well, what will happen though?
You tell me.
I can put Boom in my backpack and carry Isley.
You could do that, yes. So you could find someone to take care of them. You could hire someone to transport them to where everyone else is going. Or you could just leave them behind.
What is wrong with you? I go to Doc and I say, hey, these are our ponies and my elephants. We can't take them aboard. Can you watch them? Thank you. I run away.
Roll a persuasion check.
I give advantage.
Okay, so Galaxy's helping you.
19.
All right, pretty good.
It's something lower.
It's something lower. All right, so we'll go with the 19 then. So is that the total though? 19? Okay. She rolls her eyes and says, "Fine, we'll take care of the animals. But get going and make sure that no one knows that you're doing this outside of the main mission of taking care of the
I
refugees."
told the guy taking us that we are headed to his circus.
Okay. Well, just make sure he keeps it under his hat too. Make sure he doesn't tell anybody. All right. Fast forward back to the docks. Oh, hello! The elf maidens have returned. So good to see you again. I didn't get a chance to introduce myself before. My name is Azaki Wasanti. You can call me Azaki.
Can I call you Wasaje?
My name is Azaki.
Can I call you Fancy Footwork?
That is the name of my boat. Do you like my boat? This is my ship. I've worked very hard to get it.
I see.
I did lots of fancy footwork to get it, which
Why
is
is
the
it
reason why I called it
Why
fancy
is it
footwork.
small?
It's not small. Besides, it's not the size of your boat that counts. It's how you use it. It's how you sail it. And I am a very good sailor. And he gives you a wink. So as a reminder, his name is Azaki.
Okay.
I'm just gonna call him Fancy Footwork.
Oh gosh. Okay, could you take us three and the 2 dogs and the chicken?
You have a lot of animals that come with you, huh?
Would you want to take 2 elephants and 3 ponies with you too?
I would not have room for them down below.
Exactly. Okay. Could you take us?
Wait, I'm sorry. Was that just an ultimatum? Is that what just happened? If I don't take the 2 dogs and the chicken, then you're going to make me take elephants and ponies. Is that what just happened?
Yes.
I don't know.
Roll a persuasion check.
Well, no, I'm gonna restart.
No. Or do you want someone else to roll the persuasion? Who's got the best persuasion skill in the group?
I have 0.
+5.
I think that might be the best one. So Dave, do you want to step in here? Because things seem to be going relatively poorly with me interacting with Azaki.
I think this boat is beautiful, and it would suit our needs just well. Let's try and go on this adventure.
Roll a persuasion check.
All right. That's 12.
With the +5?
Mm-hmm.
Well, roll it with advantage because they'd be helping you too.
Okay.
Can't.
Although I'm not sure how much help they would be.
That's 14.
14? Okay. He reluctantly takes it. He's like, you have a good eye, my friend, for ships. This is, well, she may not be the largest ship in the harbor.
She isn't.
She is amazingly fast
Could you
and
please-
sleek.
Could you take us to Atlantis?
Oh, Atlantis? Why would you want to go to Atlantis? That's a dangerous place to go to.
We have to pick up my grandpa. We have to pick up my grandpa.
Roll deception?
6. She gets advantage.
6.
I get advantage.
You do not get advantage. Wait, is someone going to be helping her with this lie?
Yes. I got an 8.
You got it's okay. How are you helping her with that lie?
Well, just we need to go to Atlantis. It's our job. We don't know why exactly.
Oh, so it's not the grandpa.
Well, my grandpa is there.
Yeah, her grandpa is there. It's birthday, but it's also our job to go there. And
It's his birthday. How old is he?
he's turning
102. Not 100.
Well, we are at
He is 500.
He is 500.
That's a respectable age for an elf. But I've never heard of elves being on Atlantis before. It's okay if you don't want to tell me why you're going there. It's,
No, he's my ex-grandpa.
you broke up with him.
What? What? We all turn at Galaxy like, what?
Okay, yeah, sure, I could take you to Atlantis, but it'd be kind of expensive to get there.
Would
Do you like unlimited chips and salsa afterwards?
I don't know what chips and salsa are.
Would you
It's delicious.
do it for 200 gold pieces?
200 gold pieces for the 3 of you, and for the 2 dogs and the chicken.
We won't be any harm.
I'm Mr. Bokbok! Oh, that chicken talks! Wow! Oh, that is,
Yes, never call him a chicken. He is Mr. Backback. Right, Mr. Backback?
oh, he is, that's right! I'm Mr. Bokbok! I'm a person, not a chicken. Oh, he's okay. All right. So we've got 4 people and two mangy dogs.
One goes in my backpack. I put Boom in my backpack just in case.
Like, do you do this in front of him?
Yes.
Oh, and there's Ian. That's right. And Ian's with you as well.
So 5 people.
So there's 5 people and
he's just,
1 dog because you are keeping the dog in their bag. Okay.
He's just this big dog, and you just see him sink down.
Yeah, he just shrinks and
his
gets
face
sucked
is
into
like,
your
it's like a
unicorn
Mario.
butt backpack.
No, it's a Mario going in a tunnel, like.
Yep, totally Mario going into a pipe.
He does that.
All right. So since there's 5 persons, and he does the air quotes.
How is there 5?
Ian is with you as well.
And Mr. Backpack.
And Mr. Bach.
Oh, the person.
It's like I would do it for it's about a 2-day journey. I will do it for 500 gold.
Make it.
You were about to say 600, weren't you?
If you give us.
And you're like, wait, that's not the way negotiation works.
If you give us all a foot massage, we'll put in the extra.
Oh, you would
100.
like me to give you a foot massage? Yeah, I could. Yeah, absolutely. I would. In fact, I will give you 2 foot massages.
Ooh, my feet are sore.
And he gives you a wink.
No
All right,
No,
deal.
no,
Actually,
all of
for foot massages, I will do it for 400 gold and 2 foot massages for the Galaxy Elf Maiden over here. Yeah. All right, come aboard. This is going to be great.
First, you're dating your grandpa. I don't have a grandpa.
I know, but you said the ex-grandpa.
My ex-grandpa.
My parents were divorced. But they got back together in a day.
If your parents divorce, their parents are still your grandparents.
No, his name is X.
His name. My ex-grandpa.
It's like.
All right.
Let me and James do the planning and just
Yeah,
you go get your foot massages.
Oh, I
pull out my
we'll
whiskey
put an
bottle.
extra 50 if you give Boom my dog's a foot massage too.
I'm sorry, I don't have much experience with giving dogs foot massages. I'd be more than happy to pet your dog, but foot massage, not really my thing.
Massage.
Roll persuasion,
Birdie, you're paying
but do it with advantage because he's taking a liking to you.
Birdie, you're paying all this
No,
foot massage money.
he said for 2 massages, and all of us he'll put it for 400, cheaper.
Yeah.
You're paying all of it.
Yeah, he came down in the price if it meant that he got to give you extra foot massages.
I'm out.
Yeah,
Seems like a win-win.
again.
Maybe, depending.
Wait,
what do I roll?
What if Greg found out that
Roll a persuasion because you're trying to get Boom a foot massage as well.
I got 16.
Well, and you do it with advantage because
Oh.
he likes you. You just
Why does every weird boy I meet?
well, it's your weird person.
Oh wow, thanks. Natural 20.
natural 20. Okay.
It is a natural.
It's like, all right, yeah, I will give you a dog a foot massage. I'm happy to do it. Both dogs.
So
okay.
you're cheating on Greg.
I'm not dating any of them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who is this Greg fellow that you're referring to?
He's my cat.
You roll deception.
I got a 7.
You got a 7 on your deception. It's like, your cat, huh? And he leans over to Miam and he's like,
He died.
she doesn't have a cat.
No, it's just another boy who likes her.
Ah.
But she doesn't.
So there's competition for Galaxy, huh? I've never been one to shy away from fighting over a woman. Yes, I will give her some fantastic foot massages, and she will see that Azaki is the one that she is want to be with.
I pull out some whiskey.
Ooh, whiskey, yes, that always helps.
No, it's mine.
Oh, you're not sharing. All right. Well, I suppose that was not part of the deal.
Fine.
All right,
I pour you
yes.
a little glass.
Thank you very much, Mimi.
Um,
And he cheers you.
I'm sad.
thank you.
To Atlantis! And visiting, wink, wink, ex-grandpa.
I am going to bed because I don't want to see all of this.
All right, so it's a very small boat.
I hope
It's a
he dies.
single mast ship, and he
Wait,
starts running around.
What? I hope he dies.
He starts running around the ship very quickly. It's a small ship. It's a single mast, it's a single sail ship. So he's able to do everything on the ship himself. But there are technically 3 levels to the ship. So you are on the main deck when you first come on right now, and then there are stairs that are leading up to the front of the ship and the back of the ship. And on the back of the ship, that's where it's got the big steering wheel for steering. And then at the front, there's kind of like a landing that you can stand on, and then there's one deck below that's got a couple of rooms with bunk beds in it for sleeping in.
I will be heading off to bed.
It is morning, but you did stay up all night.
And I'll just leave you guys. And so I go up to bed.
Okay. So you go down to bed.
So I'm asleep.
So yeah, that's the reason why I did this drawing out on this map here, so you could see
We're
actually
going on a
how tiny this boat actually is. So in total, it's 15 feet wide, it's about 30 feet long, and the diagram that I have on the right hand side is the upper deck, and the diagram I have on the left hand side is the lower deck.
So where's the 5 beds? One for me, one for Galaxy, one for Dave, one for Ian, and one for Mr. Bakbak.
All right, so the first room there going down. No, I'm sorry. There. Those are 2 sets of bunk beds. So there's 4 beds that are in that room, and then there's another room that's a single bed there. So there's 5 beds in total that are available.
I bring this. Wait, so there's 5 beds in that room.
It's 2 rooms. There's 4 beds in one room and another room with a single bed in it. Yeah, so there is just barely enough room for all of the people, but there is enough beds for all the people to have their own bed.
So this is Mr. Bakbak's, the red bed.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Bakbak has his own bed. So all right, so Azaki gets the ship going, gets it ready to sail out into the harbor, and Mimi declares that she's going to be going below deck and going to bed. What is everybody else going to be doing?
I agree.
You're going to be going to bed too?
Yeah.
You've had enough of Azaki? Dave, what about you? Anything in particular that you want to do?
I think I'm just going to join the troop.
Okay.
Well, I'll head to bed.
All right. So you would take, you consider it a long rest as you're just leaving Azaki to it. And you can hear the wood and the deck creaking up above you. You can hear the water splashing and hitting the side of the fancy footwork. And you can hear the ropes and the sails rustling in the wind, and the ship begins to move out of the harbor and out into the wild blue yonder.
Is anyone seasick?
That's a really great question.
Mr. Bakbak?
I would like all 3 of you to roll a survival check for me.
Well, I'm good at survival. I get +4 survival. I get
Got myself a 19.
19? Okay, yep, you're good.
I get 6.
You got a 6, okay.
I got 11.
You got 11? All right. Galaxy, once the boat starts moving, your stomach lurches. And you turn a little green. And you think to yourself, oh boy, I don't feel very good. Can you roll a constitution check for me?
I hope I fail. A 9.
A 9. Okay. Yeah, you are. Yeah, after an hour being on the boat, you get sick. Are you going to be so? But you have time to get up to the deck and throw up over the side of the boat if you want, or you.
Can I wink accidentally wink on
Azaki.
Azaki.
You want to throw up on Azaki?
on accident?
On accident.
Wink wink.
All right, so it's starting to, like, your stomach is churning, right? And it's like, oh, and you feel yourself start to gag. I'm not going to do too much of the noises that go along with that because No, okay, you can do it for me. And so, yeah, you go run, you burst out of the room, and you go running up the stairs, and the salty air hits you as soon as you get into open daylight, and you see Azaki at the back of the ship, and you'd have to go up another set of stairs to get up to where he's at with the what is it, the rudder?
It's just a steering
with the steering wheel?
right?
Yeah, because the rudder is the thing under the water, isn't
Right.
it?
Mhm.
I should have researched like sailing terms more.
Captain's wheel, maybe?
The captain's wheel? Okay. So you see, yeah, we'll go with that. You see Azaki standing there at the captain's wheel on the next deck up. And he sees you. He's like, Galaxy, how are you feeling? Okay. He's like, oh, I've seen that look before. And so roll another Constitution check to see if you could hold it just enough to go up the stairs and throw up on him, or do you have to go to the rail?
10.
10? You make it about halfway up the stairs, and you're almost there. He's like, whoa, wait, what are you doing? And that's when you can't hold it in any longer, and you grab hold of the side of the boat and empty the contents of your stomach into the water below.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
I kind of wish it was on the ship, but that would be disgusting.
He's like, well, that's good that you made it that far, but thank you very much for aiming off on the side of the boat, because I wouldn't have wanted to clean that up.
Neither. Nah.
All right, so do you go back to bed?
Yeah, because I don't feel good.
Yeah. Well, as elves, you only need about 4 hours for a long rest, because remember, you don't actually sleep. You just meditate for a 4-hour period of time.
What? We don't sleep?
No, you just
Oh.
meditate. So technically, you don't need a bed or a sleeping bag, but you have them because they're fun.
How did you know?
A couple of hours go by, you meditate. Dave, I imagine, sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wake up 4 hours later.
you come out of your trance 4 hours later.
I have a cup of coffee.
You have a cup of coffee. Do you have any coffee with you?
We'll see. I also got a tiny one for Mr. Bok Bok.
You a little tiny coffee cup for Mr. Pop.
So no,
Thanks, baby. This is really good. I'm wide awake. I've got so much energy now.
No, we go up to the
Oh, he's already up there. Mr. Bob Guy, he's running all over the place. He's like, we're sailing. This is so fantastic. Wow, look at that. What is that? What is that? Hey, what is that? Hey, baby, what is that? And he's looking at something behind the ship. And Azaki turns around. He's like, yes, what is it? What is that?
I look because I have animal handling, so I see what it is.
An animal handling? Roll a perception check.
11.
11. So there is something that you see off in the distance in the water, but it's hard to make out with just the waves and the sun glinting off, and there seems to be a little bit of mist in that direction as well, coming off of the water. So it's like there's an object that's there, but you can't quite see what it is.
I take a sip of coffee. Don't know. And Mr. Bok Bok, did you finish your coffee?
I sure did. Can I have another one?
Sure.
I love coffee!
Well, you can have it every day if you want.
I'm better! And I should point out that it has been past the 30 days that he was charmed and created, and he has chosen to stay with you because you treated him well enough that he has decided not to go off on his own. So he is with you of his own free will.
Forever?
I mean, sure, but he's a person now. Is that it's like, so if you're like mean to him, is like he might leave. But yeah, he decided to stick around because he enjoys your company so much. You are friends. He considers you his BFF.
Okay. Mr. Bok Bok, I have some leftover bread. I actually do. Do you want to finish the bread?
I would love some bread, yeah!
Here's some bread.
Thank you so much!
And you can have whiskey later.
What? Am I old enough to have whiskey? Wait, are you old enough to have whiskey?
Yes, I am.
Roll a deception check.
But I am.
Well, yeah, I suppose technically you are. Yeah, because you're still kind of a teenager for an
No,
elf.
I'm 20.
Oh, you changed that. You wanted to be a little bit older?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, then how? I'm 200, but what would that mean?
20.
That's
20.
That would still make you in your 20s. That's right. I forget. Yeah. So Sam and I had talked offline about how she didn't like the idea of Mimi being a teenager going on all these adventures. She wanted her to be an adult. She thought that was
was
more
I an
appropriate.
adult?
Yes, you were an adult. Yeah.
I like her as a teenager.
So this would
No, I was 14.
yeah. So like yeah, when you translate elf to human year, she was like 14 years old.
So I didn't want to be that old.
She wanted to be older. She wanted to be a true adult in the game. So yeah, we'll retcon that and say that's what it is. So Ian comes up onto the deck, and hey, maybe so. What's all the hubbub about up here?
Mr. Bachback had his first cup of coffee.
Oh, that's what all that running around was.
He's still running around.
Yeah, he totally is still running around. Just this is the best.
He has like these.
But what is that thing? And he's like, what thing is he referring to?
A thing in the distance. I don't know what it is. But Mr. Backpack still has these oversized glasses.
Ian puts his hands around his eyes trying to make it out, and then he reaches into his belt under his cloak and he pulls out a set of binoculars. You wouldn't know these as binoculars, though. You would think that they're just some weird, like real big, heavy pair of glasses. And he puts them up to his eyes.
Those?
He's like, huh. And he hands the binoculars to you.
Wait, I don't need glasses.
Well, just look at that thing through this. And it takes a moment. It's a little disorienting because you've never looked through binoculars before. But for a moment, you don't know what you're looking at. And then you realize that you are seeing this object very far away, up close. And it is another ship. It's a very large ship with, looks about like two large masts with about 5 or 6 sails that are coming off of it. Full mast of like, with a full head of wind.
Will we be pirates?
Again, I wish I would have looked up more sailors terms for this.
Gale.
Yeah, full gale. Thank you.
Will we be pirates?
And there is a pirate flag that is rustling in the wind above the
Mr.
mast.
Bobo can be a pirate.
No, he's a cowboy.
He'd be
And
better as
Ian
a
says,
pirate.
"We got pirates."
Ahoy, matey! All aboard!
Is this scimitar sword?
Yes, that is a sword.
Okay. I put out my scimitar. Let's do this.
Azaki overhears this as well. Pirates! Oh no! It's he's like, he goes over to Ian. Do you mind if I take a look? And Ian hands him the binoculars. He looks through, and he says, "Oh no! I think I know what the pirate this is."
This is Ian speaking.
This is Azaki now. I'm being completely serious here when I say this, but I think that is the dread pirate 9 Lives. We can't outrun them.
Why?
Well, their ship is much faster than ours. As fast as the fancy footwork is, their ship is faster, from what I hear. But we will do our best. And he starts running around and pulling on ropes
hey,
and pulleys and other
Az-
sailing things to
was
try
it
and...
Azaki?
Azaki.
Why don't you go wake up Galaxy for this?
Why? What are you doing? Because he's very busy right now running around sailoring stuff.
I'm practicing sing in a pirate accent.
In a pirate's accent?
Yes.
Arrgh!
Aria, my day.
And then
Galaxy, arrgh, get up here now, me matey.
And then I just come up like with my sleeping mask and just like these just
Suspenders.
pajamas. Like they're black. It's all black because it like for some reason.
I thought you
it's
had
black.
all like rainbow
yeah,
pajamas or
but-
unicorn pajamas.
Yeah, right now it's all black and it's all like shaggy, and I just have this humongous cup of. It's bigger than my head.
A humongous cup of coffee.
That's how. You could when Mr. Backpack.
It's like a bucket of coffee.
Yeah.
I know Mr. Backpack thinks it's a pool. His eyes go wide.
Do you have like a mean set of bedhead going on right now as well, where all your hair is
Yeah.
like sticking out straight to the other
My
side?
purple hair is like.
I thought you had red hair.
No, I have purple
No,
hair.
you
Purple?
have red.
Purple. It's
When
like
you
a
drew
red-
your character before, I thought you drew her with red hair.
Well, it's a reddish purple.
It changes.
Yeah, Yeah.
It depends on her mood.
Yes.
Wait, the sun
But
hits
Mr.
it.
Bokbok, suddenly his eyes go wide at the sight of the big coffee.
My coffee.
Galaxy, can I have some of your coffee?
My coffee mug says, "Wake me up until I have more coffee."
Wake me up until I have more coffee. Okay. So the ship starts to get closer, off in the distance, and it's getting closer, and closer, and closer. Dave, can you roll a perception check for me?
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20? Okay. You do see that the ship is much, much closer to us now than what it was before.
Yeah.
And you see a person flying towards you.
Mr.
Flying.
Bok, it's Superman!
Arr, Superman! Yay!
No, it's not Superman. It's Batman.
Batman doesn't fly.
It's Superman!
Well, actually, it could be Batman because you see that it's got some sort of rope or tether
Oh.
streaming out from behind it,
Mr. Bok is Batman!
and it's yeah. So this person's got a line that seems to be shooting out behind it that leads back to the pirate ship, and this person is flying straight towards us.
Yikes. Hey, everybody, there's someone coming right towards us right now. This is not looking good.
That's great.
What do you think we should do?
I turn. Wait, what's my best flying animal that can do the most damage?
She can be a trick.
What's the name of the spell? It's conjure animals. What is it that the rest of you want to do? So Mimi is trying to think about like what kind of animals that she could summon that can fly. Galaxy, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna do seeming and turn everyone into a pirate.
Okay, all right.
With like a hook and everything. Seeming.
Okay.
Even Mr. Backpack.
Well, he's down below deck, but I mean,
not Mr.
Mr. Backpack will look adorable.
But he's not fighting.
I know, he's just cosplaying.
Mr. Bokbok, you are not gonna come up here to fight. I don't want you getting hurt. Yeah, he can't fight.
I think a giant eagle is probably the biggest animal that you could summon that can fly and fight.
Okay, I summon. Wait, can I do an eagle and then turn into an elemental?
Wait.
Okay, well, so then if you were going to be casting like attack spells, then we're going to go directly into initiative.
I'm gonna turn everyone. What's the most powerful creature in D&D?
Dragon
So
or
what's the name of the spell that you're?
Seeming. You can. The spell allows you to change the number of any of creatures you can see within range. You give each target you choose a new illusory appearance. I can give any appearance.
Right, but the appearance has to be about the same size as the creature you're casting it on. So you can only make them look about a foot bigger or smaller.
I know.
So yeah, you could technically choose any creature you want.
Are they called beholders?
Beholders, yes.
Just the Mr. Backpack, his little beholder. I'm a beholder.
All right, so you want to turn everyone into a beholder.
Yes.
But we're not actually a beholder.
Yes,
Right.
but
It would
will
look like it.
intimidate
No,
them.
but Mr. Bokbok is not a beholder. Please don't turn him in one.
I'll try not to.
It's just an illusion. She doesn't actually turn him into a beholder. So it's still Mr. Bokbok, but just to everyone else,
like a costume.
he looks like a little He would look like a little floating beholder running around on the ground really fast. That's all jazzed up on caffeine.
Do we have time to ask Azaki if he knows anything about this pirate?
Sure. Yeah. Is like 9 lives. All that I know about 9 lives is that very famous, very deadly. It's what this thing is right now. I've never seen this before.
Okay.
Okay, we're going into initiative.
All right, because you were going to attack with
But
the
I'm
spell.
doing seeming.
Yep, you did seeming already.
Oh, okay.
So
we're all
everyone
beholders.
looks like a beholder now.
Are they
But what
terrifying?
happens if I turn into an elemental as a beholder?
That would destroy the illusion. You would no longer look like a beholder. All right, let's do initiative.
2.
Mimi got a 2. Galaxy, what's your initiative? 8. All right. Dave.
5.
5. All right. Do you want to roll initiative for Boom?
Yes. Boom. Get out of the backpack.
And Mr. Bok is going to stay downstairs, right? He's not going to be joining this fight.
15.
15. So this person actually gets to go first. And this person gets a little bit closer, and it gets close enough that you can see that it's a tiefling. A tiefling is, you know what a tiefling?
I don't.
A tiefling is a person that has some devil ancestry somewhere in their family's past, and so she's got purple skin
Oh, I thought it was a boy.
with yellow eyes, and she's got 2 horns that swirl out from her forehead. But she's got long dark hair that is flying and out behind her from the speed that she's flying at us right now. And funny enough is that she's got big old goggles on, and you've seen like Blondie wear goggles similar to like this before. And she's got robes and belts and other things like that. So she's got like a lot of gear on her. And Galaxy, you think that she might be a magic user with some of the robes and some of the stuff that she has on her. Looks like she might have some spell components. And the fact that she's flying is also a pretty clear giveaway that she might be a magic user as well. So, but she gets close to the back of the ship. And you can tell that she's also holding a large crossbow. And this is also when you notice that there's a rope or tether, there's something that's streaming out from behind her that waves in the air for a little bit but then dips down into the water, and you can tell that the line goes back towards the large pirate ship. And she suddenly puts up her hands with this holding the crossbow, and she stops mid-air. She aims at the back of the fancy footwork and fires a large arrow from this crossbow. And there's a rope that's attached to the arrow that swirls out behind it. It's not your turn yet. As the arrow sinks into the back of the fancy footwork, there's a mechanism that's attached to the arrow as well. And she turns around and flies away. Boom goes next, and so Boom just ruff, ruff, because he can't do anything unless you want him to do something. But this person is flying away at the moment.
Can he send lightning bolts? Can he do that?
Nope, he can't. He can't shoot or summon lightning
He'll
bolts.
just bark very.
Okay.
Isn't
Like
he
that?
a beholder too?
Yes, he would be a beholder too.
Beholder going. Are the pirates terrified?
Are they terrified?
Yeah.
You did not. Well, roll a perception check. Let's see if you got a good look at the pirate as she was coming in.
I give her advantage.
14.
14. It was hard to tell because she was still a little ways away, but when she stopped and she fired the arrow, there was just a moment of hesitation that she gave to all of the people on the deck of the ship, and it seemed more confusion than fear.
But still, is it terrifying?
Terrifyingly confused. All right, so Boom is barking away. It's Azaki's turn, and he's got his sword out, but he's got one hand still on the captain's wheel, but he's got a scimitar in his other hand. Now, Galaxy, it is your turn.
Ooh, butsy.
Can I turn her into a worm with polymorph?
What's the?
It says,
She gets a saving throw on. I believe you can.
yeah, she gets a wisdom saving throw.
What's the range on polymorph? The range is 60 feet. So she's flying. What is the movement speed of fly? She may still be in range. See, well, actually, no. In the round, she would have used part of her movement to get to the ship, fire, and then turn around. Actually, you know what? I am going to say that she is still in range. She is within 60 feet. She's just barely within 60 feet of the ship.
Yay.
So, polymorph. So, you're going to turn her into a what?
A silkworm.
A silkworm?
So she'll just fall into the ocean.
Right, so a silkworm would probably have 1 or less hit points. So when it would hit the water,
It would probably die.
it would take damage, and then she would turn back into her normal self. So would you want to polymorph? So I'm trying to get at what's your intent of polymorphing her? Is it just to keep her from getting away?
Yeah. What would be the best option?
So you could turn her into something that has a few more hit points than that, but wouldn't allow her to get away. But okay, but first let's see if she makes the saving throw or not. All right. So what saving throw does she need to do?
A wisdom saving.
Wisdom saving throw. And what is your spell save DC? She got a pretty good roll, but it's gonna be close. 18. All right. So she rolled a 16. And for her wisdom's... Oh, but she gets a +4 on her wisdom saving throw. So she does actually resist it. So you pull out your magic wand and try to...
Why do I need my magic wand?
Well, you don't need your magic wand. It's your spell focus.
This would be cool.
As long as you have it on you, you're able to cast the spell. So what does it look like when you cast the spell?
There's little silkworms attacking her. like, will you turn into one of us? Turn!
All right, so a stream of little silkworms, glowing silkworms, shoot out of your fingertips, go over Azaki's head and off the bow of the ship, and arc towards her, and they hit her in the feet because that's the way that she's flying right now, because she's flying like Superman. And for a moment, there's hesitation of where she falls like maybe a foot, but then she like shakes it off, glares back at you, and then keeps flying back towards the pirate ship.
But the silkworms say, one of us, one of us, one of us.
All right, it's Ian's turn, and Ian says, gang, I'm not quite sure what to do here. Should I shoot her?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, all right. Well, he's gonna pull his gun out, and he's gonna take a shot at her.
Good, I like that.
Oh, that's terrible. All right, so he's gonna pull his gun out, and he's gonna take 2 shots at her. The first one hits, and the second one also hits. So he takes 2 shots, and there's a large bang, bang from his gun, and a arc of blue laser light shoots out of the muzzle of his gun, and you can see both of them arc instantly and hit this flying mage, and she's going to take. So for the first shot, she is going to take 19 points of piercing damage, and then for the second shot, it's going to be 11 more points of piercing damage.
Is she not looking too good?
No, she is looking really, really rough off of those. And you hear Ian curse under his breath. Dang it! Didn't get her.
Hey, but you're close. Turn is.
Dave, it is your turn now.
I was thinking of casting Bless. What do you guys think?
What's that do?
That'll give you guys a D4 on your attack rolls and saving throws.
Basically, anytime that you need to roll a dice, you get to add a d4 to it.
Nice, that's pretty good.
All right, I think I'll do that.
Okay. All right, so you cast Bless.
So to everybody?
Everybody is now blessed. How many people can you cast that on?
3.
3. So you're going to do... So which 3 are you going to cast it on?
It would be us 3, so...
Oh, okay, so you're going to cast it on yourself as well. And not Ian.
On second thought, Ian's probably a better choice. Let's do that.
And not Mr. Bok.
No,
Okay.
Mr. Bug.
I'm offended.
Mimi, it's your turn.
I think I could conjure an animal but then turn into an elemental.
Yep, you could do both of those. You could conjure an animal, and it would enter the initiative order. And then if you can use your bonus action to turn into an elemental.
Okay, so I'm gonna conjure an
eagle.
You're going to conjure a giant eagle. Okay. So a giant eagle comes into the fray as well. Giant eagle has an armor class of 13.
And I rolled a 4.
And you don't have to roll for it. It just happens. You're that good. Oh, were you rolling the initiative for the eagle?
Yeah.
Okay. So then that turns into a 7 for the giant eagle. So we are now back up to the top of the initiative. And the mage does look like it gets
No, but I
back.
didn't turn into an elemental.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. What elemental did you want to turn into?
What do you think will do the most damage?
Well, I think the fire would do the most damage, but I think having a fire elemental on a wooden ship would be problematic.
So,
A stone elemental might also be problematic. So I would say either an air.
the elementals fly.
I believe the air elemental can, but the water elemental can also shoot through the water very, very fast.
I turn into an air elemental and I fly a little farther from the ship so they don't get infected.
Okay. You turn yourself into an air elemental, but that's and then you use your movement to shoot off of the boat, off of the fancy footwork towards the pirate ship, right? And you travel 90 feet. You actually almost make it almost completely to the pirate ship in your turn, but you're still about 30 feet away from this big pirate ship. And to give you perspective on this, the fancy footwork that's what I have drawn off on the map on the right-hand side there. So it's about 15 feet wide and it's about 30 feet long. The ship that's approaching is twice the length, more than twice the length. So it's over 60 feet wide, and it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and it's 30 feet wide. So, and it looks like it has multiple decks and multiple levels on it. So it's at least 3 times the size of the fancy footwork. So it's a massive pirate ship that's bearing down on you right now. So you get that close to the ship and you see everything I just described there. When you get out there, though, you actually get next to the tiefling mage that's flying through the air. That's like you caught up to her super duper fast because you are an air elemental now. And so you can tell this mage is super hurt. So there's actually, you can see blood starting to drip off of her from where Ian had shot her from the fancy footwork.
Maybe she's good, but I doubt it.
You don't know. But one thing that you do see, is because you've gotten that close to the ship, is that you do see that there's some sort of mechanism that's on the pirate ship that's now turning very, 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 very fast. It's winding in the rope that was attached to the arrow that's attached to the fancy footwork. So it looks like that the pirate ship is starting to reel the fancy footwork in now. So, and now that you're so close to the ship, you could hear and typical pirate sounds coming from the pirate ship. And there's a couple of pirates that are on the deck that see you, and they're going to start shooting arrows at you. So what's your armor class as a air elemental? It's 15, and you have 90 hit points as an air elemental. All right, so there's 5 pirates that are going to be shooting arrows at you. The first one misses. The second one hits. Third one hits. Fourth one hits.
Fifth one hits.
And the fifth one hits. So you get hit by 4 arrows.
Shouldn't it just go right through her since she's air?
She is resistant to non-magical attacks, so all of this damage is going to be halved for her.
Okay.
44 points of piercing damage in total, so you take 22 points of piercing damage from these arrows.
You're fine.
So you are now down to 68 hit points as an air elemental. So all of these arrows come shooting out from the pirates. It is Boom's turn now.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom tries to bite the arrow. He sees that the arrows on the ship.
Well, the 2 ships are still 120 feet away from each other.
Yeah, but you said the arrow's on the ship and it's reeling it in.
Right, yeah, so the ships are getting closer and closer to each other, but right now they're about 120 feet away.
So Boom is trying to get the arrow off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So Boom, okay. Alright, so you give directions to Boom to break the arrow off.
Just try to, with his mouth, try to take it off and his paws.
Okay. All right, so and Boom takes off running and runs up the stairs to where the captain's wheel is and dives off the back of the boat. And
Won't he get electrocuted?
roll an attack for me, for Boom.
Attack?
Yeah, because he's attacking the arrow that's embedded into the side of the fancy footwork.
11 plus 7 is 18.
18. Okay.
Also get the D4.
Oh wait, no, Boom. You didn't bless Boom,
Oh, you're right. I apologize. Yeah.
so never mind.
But then he gets does it hit?
All right, so he latches onto it, but it's a heavy duty arrow that's stuck into the side of the ship. So he's hanging off of the side of the ship with the arrow in his jaws, just trying to yank it free. And his first attack doesn't do it, but he gets a second attack. So roll another one.
Oh, it's 18 plus 7.
18 plus 7. Okay, so this time that is good enough, and he crunches down on the arrow with his jaws and snaps the arrow in half, and the rope goes flying off into the distance.
Slap someone in the face.
If anything, it would slap Boom in the face, but he's immune to non-magical damage.
So it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, so it hits him in the face, but he pays no mind to it, and it does him no damage whatsoever. So now Boom is hanging off of the side of the boat, off of this broken arrow, just hanging there contently.
Boom! Up! Go up! Up! Up!
All right, so he digs his claws into the side of the boat and climbs back up, but he's
Is he like a spider?
no, he has to slam his little corgi feet into the woodwork.
I'm very sorry.
Hey, that's my poor boat. What
Would you rather have all of us die?
that's only 1 foot massage for you now.
What about the tiefling? Did she have her turn?
Oh yeah, she got onto her ship. So I'm sorry if I didn't make that clear before. Yep. So you had caught up to her on your turn, and then it was her turn, and she flew the rest of the way and got onto the ship, and she disappeared below deck before you had a. So you just know that she got back to the pirate ship, but you're not quite sure where she's at the moment. And that's when the other pirates on the ship had hit you with a barrage of arrows. And so in case you missed it, and so now Boom had broken the arrow off that was reeling the fancy footwork into the pirate ship. So Azaki's turn is that he's going to sheathe his scimitar, and now he is going to try and pilot the fancy footwork ship away from the pirate ship since it is no longer tethered to it. And Mimi, there is another barrage of arrows that are getting shot out at you.
But they already had their turn.
I know this is there's a lot of pirates that are on this ship. And only 3 of them hit this time.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
So it's going to be 29 points of damage that gets halved down to 14 points of damage. So you are now at 54 points. In your air elemental form. Galaxy, it is your turn. And you were blessed.
Wait, did Mimi ever do her blast?
We haven't gotten to Mimi yet. Because Mimi's last turn was her conjuring a giant eagle, turning into an air elemental, and then shooting off the back of the ship towards the pirate
I have
ship.
a great idea.
What are you going to do?
Fireball.
Fireball. All right.
That's a great idea, right?
What is the range on Fireball?
150.
Ooh, yep, you totally can shoot that.
Does it always hit?
It does always hit. It's a dexterity saving throw.
Our target must take 86 fire damage on failed save, or half as much damage as successful one.
Yep.
So the tank and the fire will catch the boat on fire.
Very well could. All right, so yeah, you shoot out a fireball from the back of the fancy footwork towards this big pirate ship that's bearing down on us. Roll 8d6 for the damage, please. Are you targeting the ship, the sails, or are you just in general, just targeting everything that you can? Because a fireball is a pretty big area of effect.
Everything I can.
Okay, everything that you can. All right, so then all the pirates are going to be a part of this as well that are on the deck. There's 10 pirates that are on the deck that have been shooting arrows at Mimi. And, oh boy, all of them miss their dexterity saving throw.
Yes! That's beautiful.
Yep, roll 8d6. Tell me the damage.
Okay. 29 points of damage.
29. Okay.
Yep. Not the best, but still pretty good. Did the tiefling die?
The tiefling. Oh, you can't tell, but the fireball did lots of damage to the ship, and
Did it kill some people?
it did not. Well, you can't tell from where you're at, but it's like you messed them up really good. All of the pirates got hit with the full brunt of this fireball that are on the deck. The ship took some damage. People below deck, things have started on fire. But the ship itself looks like it's like the sails are still intact. The overall structure of the boat still looks like it's intact. So shockingly, the sailors took a ton of damage from this fireball, but the ship itself does not look like that it was damaged too badly by it.
Hey, still pretty good. But is it on fire?
No, it is not on fire, actually. No, it's
Not at all?
Not well. Oh, there's a little bit of smoking and burning and things like that are around on it, but like you didn't set the sails on fire. Like it's not on fire to the point that it would burn the ship down.
I
if
should have done the
left unintended.
sails. But still, I got the people.
Yeah, you did get the people. So it's Ian's turn now, and he can't do anything because the ship is still. Well, actually, I'm sorry. What is the range?
He could shoot some bullets.
He could shoot some bullets, but
Be a
it's
waste.
in range. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's gonna take aim at one of the pirates and take a shot at them. And the first shot hits for 17 points of piercing damage
No, that's at the ship or at someone.
at someone.
Do they die?
No, they do not. And then you hear a dang it! And his gun jammed on him.
Whose?
On Ian's.
Dang it! Oh, I had when we if we survive out of this, I wanna see if Azaki would like
yep.
to try the cards. After we
you want to give the
after the whole journey, after the journey.
you're gonna make Azaki choose a card from the deck of many things.
Persuade him.
Oh boy. Mimi, 5
about-
more pirates are taking shots at you with arrows. And you get hit by 4 of them. Alright, so that's going to be 31 points of damage, halved to 15. So you are already down to 39 hit points as an air elemental. Dave, it is your turn.
Alrighty, I'm in range for pistols.
They are still 120 feet away. Do we have the range written down on what the pistols are?
We don't.
It is out of range. 90 feet
90 feet.
is the max range on the pistol.
Alright. And spiritual weapon, is that in range?
If you did have a spiritual weapon, the range on that is 60 feet.
Okay. I can cast mending on the ship from where Boom Boom was damaging it.
Or you could use your action to help someone else, give them advantage on their attacks. So like even if they're far away, it's maybe yell out direction to them or tell them where to direct their attacks and give them advantage on that.
Yeah, I can do that. I can assist Galaxy on her next attack just by pointing in the general direction where I see pirates.
Well, the next person that would be going would be Mimi.
Okay. Then yes, I can do that for Mimi if there's a way to signal her.
Yeah, so it's dang it, Mimi, I'm sorry. We skipped over the giant eagle. All right, what did you want the giant eagle to do?
Attack.
All right, so you wanted to dive down and start attacking the pirates. All right, so this giant eagle with this 30-foot wingspan, she shoots out from it appeared above our ship and then flew over towards the pirate ship. So for the giant eagle, it's gonna make. Yep, it makes 2 attacks, one with its beak and one with its talon. Can you roll a attack for its beak? It's going to be a +5 to hit.
So a
Roll
D20.
D20 and then add 5 to it.
Ooh, 24.
24, that it's a hit. All right, so now roll 1d6 +3.
4.
4, okay. All right, so it swoops down and it pecks at one of the pirates that are there. Now roll its talon attack. That is a d20 +5 as well.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay, so we're going to double the dice on this. So it pecked at one of the pirates, and it I will give you the choice with this because it's a natural 20. You can either do the typical double the dice damage, so then it would be 4d6 plus 3 damage for the talon attack, or it would be the regular damage, and you would cause the pirate to get thrown overboard the ship.
Overboard.
Overboard? Okay. So roll 2d6 plus 3.
12.
12? Okay. All right. And then that pirate goes sailing over the sailing. Gets thrown over the side of the ship and lands in the water with a big splash. And you hear, "Arr, man, overboard!" All right, Mimi, it's your turn.
I will make a little tornado.
Whirlwind. Each creature in the elemental space. So the elemental is a large elemental. So you can attack up to 4 pirates at a time. All right. So you move onto the pirate ship, and in your air elemental form, envelop 4 of the pirates and immediately twist yourself around into a mini tornado on the deck of their ship. And each pirate needs to make a DC strength saving throw. First one misses. Second one misses. What the? Yeah, I'm just gonna say they all miss because those were terrible rolls. Okay, so roll 3d8 plus 2.
I had 13.
13. Okay. All right, so they all take 13 points of damage. And I need you to roll okay, we're going to do a random throw for each of them in a different direction. So the first one, I want you to roll, you're going to roll a d4 for each of these guys. And if it's a 4, they get thrown backwards and remain on the ship. If it's any other number besides a 4, they get thrown off the ship. So roll a d4. So for the first pirate.
3.
3? Okay, so that one is now overboard as well. He gets thrown over the side of the ship. Ah! He sounds like Mr. Bok Bok. Roll it again.
4.
All right, so that one is still on the ship. He gets thrown backwards, but he hits the side of the ship. He gets thrown back 20 feet. Can you roll a 2d6 now? This is additional bludgeoning damage he takes for hitting the wall of the ship.
9.
9 points, okay. All right, so now the last pirate, roll a d4. A 2. Okay, so he is now overboard as well. So you managed to not, of those 4 sailors, those 4 pirates, they're also sailors. Those 4 pirates that you enveloped in the mini tornado, 3 of them got thrown overboard. And there's screaming, there's chaos all over the ship now, and people don't know what to do, because the last thing that they were expecting was a tornado to suddenly spring up on their ship and have fireballs thrown at them. And weird blue laser shots coming from the other ship. So this little ship that they thought was going to be easy prey turns out to be much more than they had accounted for. Now, however, though, Mimi, now that you are on the pirate ship and you're farther away, you can see something off. You see something else off in the distance, and you see a great hulking shell come out of the surface of the water behind the pirate ship. And you see a gigantic head break the surface of the water as well. And a roar comes out of this creature. Can you roll I think this would be a nature check for you. Do a nature check for me.
Natural 20.
Natural 20? All right. You suddenly freeze and pause. You've heard about these creatures before, but you never thought that you'd actually ever see one. But coming out of the water behind the pirate ship is a dragon turtle.
What?
Dungeons & Dragons & Daughters is a proud member of the Block Party Podcast Network. Check out other shows such as GM Showcase, Story Arc, We're So Bad at Adventuring, and more. And that's where we'll end. If you can come over, you can see a picture of it if you want.
What? What's a dragon turtle?
It's a
What?
That's a dragon turtle. Brittany, you want to see
Honestly, it sounds dumb.
It's like pig frog.
You're not excited about a dragon turtle? A pig frog. That's a good analogy.
Donkey
actually.
bee.
It's a donkey bee.